Oh, hello there. Didn't see you. Um, what are we gonna do today? Something different. A little different. Let's get started. Alright, we are on sign number 2 for Vayner Sports and JK Realty. We first made a sign for Vayner Sports itself, and now we're going to make signs for some players that are in the draft this year. And this first player is Josh Jackson. And he has his own logo. It's supposed to look like half of a football. You can see the finger grips. And it's obviously two J's back to back. My take of it is also that it looks like a shield, which is good because Josh may be a receiver, but he also has a lot of blocks and tackles, so I think a shield is still kind of fitting. And if you saw the Vayner Sports sign video, I'm gonna make this shield logo in the same kind of style, minus the distressed edges. I basically just want the background to look old, and then this logo here, the JJ, will kind of pop out of the shield, a quarter of an inch, half an inch, I don't know, whatever it comes out to be, probably a quarter of an inch. I would also like to round off the shield a bit. So if you were looking at this flat on the ground, it would kind of follow this curve, I mean, not this curve, but just it would follow a curve. So the sides would be a little thinner than it would be here. And that would just give it a more three-dimensional look. Size-wise, a normal sign that, like Vayner Sports, like a sign with words that we would make, I would tend to make it between 2 to 3.5 feet, depending on the font and how many words and whatnot. The pieces of wood I use, the planks of wood I get from Home Depot, are anywhere from 7 to 12 inches wide. Either way, I'm going to have to glue some of them together. And the 12, I think, would be too wide. I'm thinking this doesn't need to be a 2-foot sign by whatever it comes out to be. I mean, this, let's say this is 15 inches. That's it's about the same size as my keyboard, I would say. About, yeah, maybe we go 16, a foot and a half. Which makes that 15. So that's interesting. This is more of a square shape. I thought it was going to be longer. So we could essentially make it. How much border do we want on the side? I would say this space here, which is 1.5 inches. So if we added 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches here, that gets us to 19 inches. And since the other one was 1 inch smaller, it's going to be 19 by 18 inches, which is a pretty good size sign. I don't know if I have any 10 inch planks. If I don't, I will have to glue two 12s together. Which should be fine. I mean, cut off a little bit. I think that's the size we're going to go with, is 19 by 18. 19 by 18. That is how we will cut out the vinyl. So let's get to it. Alright, this time, as you saw from the design, I'm going to be making Josh Jackson's football shield sign thing. Well, I call it a shield because I'm going to make it a shield. And it kind of looks like a shield. So I need a piece of wood that's roughly 20 by 20 inches. This is a 12 inch, well, 11 to 11 and a half depending on. I'm going to take 2 planks, cut them down to 20 inches, and then on the table saw we'll take them down to 10 inches wide. Nice clean cut on one side, and then we'll glue 2 of them together. This piece of wood, as you can see, pretty much, this is fine, but this is cracked, and it's cracked. I don't know if you can see that. It's cracked a pretty good portion. Enough to put a bend in this thing. So I don't want to use the crack side. So luckily I have another sheet of wood over there. Alright, let's cut these down. And that is why we didn't use it. Alright, I kind of got ahead of myself and forgot to film the glue up. But I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's just one line of glue anyway. Hopefully you guys can hear me with the fans going, but this is Arizona and it's starting to get hot, so I'm cutting those fans going. So I took off the clamps off the glue. Glue came fine, but as you can see, we have a little warp on this end. So I'm gonna take the belt sander and just get a little flatter. Alright, so as I said before, this sign is another partnership between Vayner Sports and JK Realty, who have been kindly enough to ask me to make signs, one for Vayner Sports themselves and one for some of the draftees of the upcoming 2018 NFL Draft. This sign again is for Josh Jackson. Again, his logo with those finger grips kind of looks like half of a football. But to me it kind of looks like a shield almost, like the shape of it. So my idea is to kind of build this sign as a shield. I'm gonna put a nice little edge on it, have a lowered section down here. The letters will be the highest, this will be the lowest, and then this next step will kind of curve down into the lowest one. It should look pretty good at the end. All this stuff in between and on the edges and stuff, it's going to get that quote unquote tiki distress style that I usually do on the other signs. But the edges are going to be pretty straight, just copying these lines. So kind of draw it. Go 3/8, probably about 3/8. This one we'll just do by eye. And then we're going to have lines kind of like the stressing we did on the tiki sign. I kind of want to make a big gash in here, but like a real shield would have, or something, like an axe went through it, but it'll be alright. So the letters are not going to get distressed at all. It'll be pretty clean. I guess I'm going to cut it out first. Probably using the jigsaw. Almost forgot. Now I'm going to use this V-cut bit. It's 90 degree. I'm going to chase my line. I'm probably going to go down probably just until the point here. And then I'm going to go back over it with probably a quarter of an inch bit to get rid of all this. And that'll just leave me with a kind of a 90 degree angle on this. And then I'll kind of round that over. Okay, now I'm going to go over this flat bit around the edge. Just take off this edge here, and then we'll try to round this over. Just probably with I don't know, maybe the Dremel, sandy disc or something.
All right. Now I don't want to torch any of this, and hopefully none of this. I just want to do the inside. So I'm going to use a small one, but I'll see how this works. It doesn't get as hot. So we'll see. Back to the B groove bit. Just going to use the tip to make some vertical lines. So we're pretty much done. Just gonna spray paint it. So I'm gonna tape it off here. However, the battery is almost dead right now. So I will finish taping it off and change batteries. So this is after 2 coats have put on. my only concern is this is lemongrass. I had this other color. You can kind of see the contrast there. I think the color of this should be is kind of in between both of those. This paint, this other yellow paint, which was more of a orange, what do they call it? Golden sunset. That was a bad paint. I've used it once before in here. I'm not saying that all of those paints are bad. I'm just saying that one can wasn't mixed right or something. It gets too runny and dries in spots. I had painted this with that. I had to send it down, and this is the only yellow I had left. So at least I can use it for the first couple coats. I may go to Home Depot and get another one. I'm not dissatisfied with this color, but I think we can probably do a little better. So I may go get another can of something that's a little more orange yellow than just yellow. But at least with the sanding and this other coat, looks pretty good. So stay tuned. Alright, well, this is the color I ended up getting. Slightly more yellowish, orange, more gold, I guess. I'll probably put on at least one more coat, and then we'll see the finished product. It's not too bad all in all. I mean, just a few little spots. Majority of it there and here. That just needs to be cleaned up, but Should be able to take care of that. Alright, more paint on the sign, more paint on my workbench. Good day. I also put on a couple clear coats, so I think I'm gonna call it done. Hope everybody enjoys this, especially Josh. Again, I'd like to thank JK Realty for having me make the sign for them, and their partnership with Vayner Sports. Alright, like, subscribe, and until next time.